saw some statistics that I wanted to share with our viewers because the numbers are so alarming to me. And again, I think there's an underappreciation nationally for what is going on here. In Minnesota, the Bureau of Criminal Apprehension, which footnote we've been talking about a lot lately because it's been attempting to investigate the murders of Renee Nicole Good and Alex Preddy and have been thwarted by the federal government to do so.
Yes.
The Bureau of Criminal Apprehension has reported 732 Indigenous persons went missing in Minnesota only. This is just Minnesota for last year, 2025. And of that number, this is what floored me, Nicole. More than 64% were women. In 2025, the average number of Indigenous people in Minnesota who are missing on any one day, any given day, is 63 people. And according to 2024 data from the Bureau of Criminal Apprehension, American Indians accounted for more than 4% of all reported victims of homicide or non-negligent manslaughter in the state of Minnesota. And that is despite American Indians making up only a little more than 1% of the total population. Those numbers are skewed so horribly, Nicole, in dramatic ways. Why? I'm sure a lot of people, including me, want to know why. Why are these numbers so alarming statistically for this particular community?
Well, I think you have to look really at the impact of historical trauma and some of our federal policies and legislation. I think we have to look at, some of the jurisdictional challenges that we have.
Mm-hmm.
And for many of our tribes, they do not have jurisdiction over non-Native offenders. And more than 70% of the offenders of against Native people against Native women specifically, are non-Native.
Non-Native. Mm.
And so in many racial or ethnic groups, like when you look at domestic violence, sexual violence, or domestic related homicides, they are usually of the same racial or ethnic group. But that is not the case for Native women. And so, I think we have to look at what does that mean? Why is that? We have to look at, the ways that we're responding to it. We have to look at how, racism and, some of those systemic responses and have harmed our communities. We have to look at how jurisdiction really ties the hands of many of our tribes in being able to respond to these crimes. We have mechanisms in place for tribes to be able to exercise special criminal jurisdiction.
Yeah.
But in order to do that, the tribe has to be set up in a certain way that, in a way, kind of mirrors our Western, tribal or Western, court systems.
Mm-hmm.
We only have one tribe in Minnesota who is exercising that special criminal jurisdiction at this point, and that is the Bois Forte Band of Ojibwe in northern Minnesota. They're the only tribe at this point in Minnesota that's exercising that special criminal jurisdiction. And then you have to look at the responses that we are getting in the urban areas.